So one down. 17 to go or 18 to go? Oh, I've already lost track of that.
Yeah.
We unboxed Crimson Scales Flask. It was really, really, really fun. Really, really exciting. And now we're unlocking the second character, which is going to our other friend Mark in our 4-man party. You and I are still working things out. And he's got hat hole, otherwise known as chained helm, chained circle, chain
Helmet
chain
in
hat.
a ring of chains.
Ring of chains hat. Yes. So, of course, guys and I still haven't seen any of this yet, so we're getting a nice raw, potentially incorrect view on everything.
We love being raw and incorrect. That's it. That's what we could name our next podcast.
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah, okay.
Raw and incorrect.
Sorry. I'm going to unlock the chain helm now, and then let's do this.
Yeah, we go to... Whoa. And just on a side note, when I unboxed the minis, this is by far, and I'd say by a margin, the best looking mini that I've seen straight out of the box. Some of it, and this is across all of Gloomhaven and Frosthaven, right? Now, I'm probably less familiar with the Gloomhaven ones because it's been ages. The Frosthaven ones were cool. Some of them were really cool, right? But this one, when I opened it, it didn't really come through with my voice on the, but I was kind of in that like shock of like, holy crap, this is awesome. So like I'm already, expectations are up here for this class. Like if it's a garbage class, then they're just compensated with an awesome mini, then...
Hey, as long as it looks good. As long as it looks good.
That's true.
I've opened it. Can you see it?
I can see the ability cards, character details. Yes,
Inox Chain Guard, and it does look amazing. I can't because that's right. Frosthaven has all the Algox, so we're back to Inox ones or Inox character. And this looks fierce as all hell.
It does look like a boss, and not like as in like like a boss, as in it looks like should be the boss of something.
Yeah,
right, like a mini boss. Yeah.
Love it. I love the whole chain-looking scythe weapon thing that it's got going for it, and I have seen that in the miniature, so they've done that really well.
Yeah. All right, so
10 cards.
The chain guard 10. So 10's all right. I think you don't want to go much below 10.
You don't want to go, yeah. 100%
and when I say
10.
by much, I mean any. You want to go 0 below 10.
Up is better.
Up is a lot better than down.
Up is better. And currently, the record's 14 with Germinate. So that I can think of.
I'm sure
the lowest? Is it like 7 or something?
Yeah, there'll be some character that has like 87 cards in their hand or something.
And another one that has 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chain Guard 10 cards. It's got really beefy health, so that's definitely tank health, and that is also drifter health, which is awesome. So far, I think we've nailed it for Mark. Cool, we can wrap it up.
That's it. Good job, Mark. You should enjoy yourself.
What does it do, guys?
All right, let's have a look. So it's got special rule on the card, Shackle. The Chain Guard has a unique special ability called Shackle, and it's got a little symbol. It's the little helmet in the chain symbol, which shackles an enemy by placing a character token on the target. A shackled enemy cannot perform move abilities while adjacent to you, and the enemy does not take that effect into account when determining movement. And the enemy does not take that effect into... So it still thinks that it can move.
Okay,
cool.
So it doesn't know it's shackled.
It doesn't know it's shackled, yeah. All right. If a shackled enemy dies or you perform a shackle ability on a different enemy, your character token on the former enemy is removed in both cases. Enemies that are immune to immobilize are immune to shackle. Okay, so it sounds like another type of immobilize, but it's very unique in that it's only applied by this character, and it only does anything if you're next to them.
Yeah, but it's also it doesn't end at the end of the next turn or anything like that. From the sounds of it, it sounds like it's permanently. Once it's shackled and it's next to you, it is not leaving next to you.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So it's got a little picture here. It's got an example of the dude there, the chain guy, and like a 1-2. You're probably dead. You'll throw this up, and the shackled enemy. And it says a shackled enemy focuses on the spell weaver and determines a movement. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, well, I'm sure this all makes sense. Do you want me to read that out?
Yeah, I'm trying. Can you help me make sense of the example right now?
Yeah, that's what I was stopping.
I'm listening to you and looking at it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, I'll read it out and we'll see. Okay, so just in this picture, who's who? So
we've got the band. It looks like a band on the left. That with the token on it.
Yep. Okay, and that's 1, 2, 3 away from the chain guard. Is there invisible? Is that right?
Yeah. apparently.
Okay, all right. And then this is that the Spellweaver?
Must be, because they're
Okay.
referring to it.
All right.
So it shows the focus. Okay.
So it says a shackled enemy focuses, and I assume that little eyeball thing is the
Pick,
icon for focus.
must be for this
Yep.
example, because the chain guard's invisible. So,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So a shackled enemy focuses on the Spellweaver and determines a movement path to perform an attack. Once the enemy enters a hex adjacent to the chain guard, the enemy immediately ends its movement and cannot perform any move abilities while adjacent to the chain guard and affected by shackle.
Yeah, so it wants to
Okay.
go to 3, but it stops at 2.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that's why it ignores the shackle effect for determining movement because
Yep.
yeah, okay, sweet. All right, cool. So I wonder if that means that the chain guard's going to have invisibility. If it doesn't have any invisible cards, that's a really random.
That'll be interesting. That's a really cool way of just, it's like taunting but not being there.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, yeah, it is a way of keeping them where you want them without, and again, as you raised, without it dropping off. So,
And the other thing is this is going to be big time dependent on positioning. So basically, wherever the chain guard is standing, like he's going to be focused very heavily on that because he can pin something down just based on this principle alone. Absolutely pin something down. And wherever he's standing for exactly that reason, if he's invisible, really cool.
yeah, which will be cool, I guess, in small niche examples when you have like I think we're not going to have Algox archers, but we'll have bandit archers, I believe, because it's Gloomhaven mobs.
Yeah.
With where you move up to them and then they go early and move away, right? Like this is one of those ways of stopping it from happening.
Great against ranged units.
So yeah, keep in position. Cool. All right. Well, look. This doesn't seem like a lot, so I'm really fascinated to see how they use this as like a core mechanic of the character, right?
Well, do you want to guess in a way, like one key kind of thing? Are we going to see like a lot more immobilized and a lot more maybe retaliates and things like that?
I think we're going to see some pulling, like as in ranged attacks that pull them to you, or melee attacks. So melee attacks that can be done at a range that bring them next to you. So like a scorpion get over here type thing.
Yeah, because of the chain thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but without the negative of it being a ranged attack, so that you're not penalized for doing things that to people next to you.
That makes sense.
I think something like that in regards to retaliate or tank. I feel like it's going to have to be a bit tanky because if it's pulling things and making him stay next to you, you're going to want to be survivable. So yeah, this could have actually landed perfectly on a character for Mark.
Yeah, so far, yeah. There's
so
one symbol in Xhaven, I can't remember what it is, and I removed the custom content stuff, and it's still there. And I can't remember if it was like a double immobilize or it was not an immobilize, but it was a immobilize adjacent. The symbol just looked somewhat similar to it, and I could be completely talking about it out of my ass, and I'm happy to cut this all out if I am. But I'm wondering if it's got something to do with this guy.
maybe. Hey, we're wrong and raw, right? Don't. That's just gotten better now. Don't cut it out. Like,
All right.
Well, let's jump into the cards and we'll see, because then we'll come back to the perks. Yeah.
All right. Yep.
All right. Did you want to read out the milestone?
Sure. So their milestone is kill a shackled enemy. I've got to zoom in a little bit. Kill a shackled with the token on an enemy 10 times. So that must be coming from Mark as well.
Yep.
Not just anyone.
Kill a shackled enemy. So he has to kill a shackled enemy.
I'm reading it, and we'll probably get corrected or confirmed. I'm reading it as he needs to kill a shackled enemy 10 times.
Yep. And look at what the password is. Ooh. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It was also played by Mark.
Yeah, I know. Coincidence?
Mark has to play the trap after this. Like it.
I wonder if this is like trap adjacent. It doesn't have attacks.
No AMD.
All right, cool. Did you want to read the first card, or do you want me to jump into it?
No, I'll do the first one because it's got chokehold. No, nothing.
You love the Undertaker.
that. So, initiative 22. First card. Not bad. So shackle. Shackle one adjacent enemy. Clean. And then we got a little break. And then on your next 3 attacks targeting a shackled enemy, add +X attack, where X is equal to the value shown. Okay, because it's a persistent. So it's a burn persistent. You're getting +2, +2, +3. And the card itself is worth 2 XP. That's not a bad burn. Next 3 attacks targeting a shackled enemy. Okay, so yeah, he shackles something so far and then punishes the living crap out of them by the sounds of it.
What's cool about that is
yep.
it doesn't drop off. Like if he shackles something and kills it, and then goes and attacks other things, this doesn't tick along. So it actually has a little bit of control over when that bonus comes out.
Because it has to be shackled.
Mm.
Yeah, really well read. That actually is probably really important. Move 4 on the bottom, and then which is already great. And then 1 adjacent shackled enemy suffers 1 damage. Not bad.
Yeah.
Clean. Move 4 is great. So there's a nice little kicker on that.
Yeah, well, this is what we always look for in a burn card, right? Is the other half of the card spammable? And a move 4 is definitely the extra damage is probably you can take it or leave it. That's a bit of a bonus, but yeah, you're always going to have use for this at a low initiative as well. So cool, off to a good start.
Great start.
All right. Drag through dirt. Oh, I feel like the names of these cards are all going to be awesome. Like I just, they're going to either be puns or they're going to just be like kind of really flavorful.
Yeah.
All right, so we got drag through dirt. It goes to the 30. Oh, here it is.
it's the
Here it is.
one.
Swing. Okay. All right. So we should have picked this because I completely forgot about this mechanic.
Yeah.
Swing 3. Now, I have absolutely no idea how this mechanic works. I'm going to need to put a mini on the board and then swing it around in different hexes to figure it out.
Well, there's 6. So 3 will just be a 180 all the way around the back.
All the way around. Okay. Because so swing works without going too far into it. Basically like push or pull, except that it's around you, right? That's
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So you target 1 adjacent enemy, add muddle if the target is shackled, and then do an attack 3.
Ugh.
That's cool.
so spicy. It's just like
it is.
There's 3 different things going on there.
And
I love one card.
Yeah, and I love the idea of him like, like whipping this guy with his spike chain thing and just dragging him behind him and then just like smacking him while he's on the ground. Yeah, that's cool. And then the bottom of it is a burn. So it's shackle 1 adjacent enemy, move 6 with jump, then
crap.
pull 6, target 1 shackled enemy adjacent to the hex you occupied at the start of this action.
That is so thematically sick.
That's so cool. So he's like jumping through the air and then pulling whatever he was next
lassoing
to.
backwards.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That is crazy huge.
Yeah, that's it. So, and look, again, like you've got this, because on that top one, because we've got the dotted line or the dots in between the swing and muddle mechanic and then just the attack 3, you could just play this as an attack 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Cool. So again, like we're talking about spammable burn cards, like you can just be like, oh yeah, when I can't do the swing thing, whatevs, it's an attack.
Yeah, I'm saying yep incredibly confidently. I'm happy to be told that it's not, but it just looks like the break from Frosthaven, which is what we're used to. But these are dots. Maybe they're lines. Maybe there's a difference. I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing it'd be a question about swing is that I assume it's like push and pull where you can always choose a lower number. Like swing won't have to be 3. No. Right? Like you could swing it less up to. Yeah. Cool.
If it's an enemy, then it has to be to the full, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Because that idea is such a cool reposition mechanic. Like, as in, like being able to control the fights and work out where people are or aren't, especially with the idea of shackled targets, as in you pull it away from someone, it gets stuck next to you and now it can't hit them anymore. It's like a way of manipulating like who's hitting who and target priority and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah. With hex-based grids as well, like just to have the whole push and pull and you're looking at different lines, now you've got the whole circle thing. It's just adding more complexity and more depth to, how much you can force movement things around. Very impressed so far. Like, very cool name as well, like the drag through dirt. I can see both playing in my head. When you play Dota or something, it's like, look at the abilities, you hover over one of them and it shows you an animation of what it looks like. I can see that. So that's really cool. All right, follow the chains. This goes at a 19, so this is nice and quick. It's an attack 3 with push 1, and add +1 to the push and gain 1 XP if the target is shackled. All right, so far everything is about shackled targets. And then it continues on top, move 2, this movement must end adjacent to a shackled enemy. So yes, you're hitting it, you're smashing it forward, and then you're moving to follow up with it. Like, this character is so aggressive and just so, once it picks a focus, it is just beating it into the dirt.
Yeah, that's my guy, right?
Yeah. Like It's so Mark.
Yeah.
The bottom of it is retaliate 1. Ooh. Marx hasn't been having a lot of retaliate luck lately. Retaliate 1 self, which is weird that you have to say self, but maybe that's the old style
That's
the
that's
old style.
the format that Dwarf was complaining about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Add +1 retaliate against attacks by shackled enemies. Okay. That's fairly clean. But yeah, another really simple in my head to see how it kind of works, but very cool for both the push and repositioning.
Yep. No, very good.
And not
All
a
right.
burn.
Pardon? Yeah, with no burn
Top's
on
not
it.
a burn.
No, I
It's
know.
an attack
Yeah,
and
yeah.
move.
That's cool. That's an attack and a move essentially, right? Like that's
Yes.
yeah. So, all right, cool. Locking links. So this goes at a 41. So we're getting to that real crap initiative territory.
Beautiful.
Attack 2. Shackle. Okay, we have our first non-burn card that shackles. So I was going. Oh, that was my
Good.
next question. Was like, well, this sounds tricky to get off. At the start of each of the target's turn, if it is adjacent to you and shackled, it suffers 1 damage. Interesting. Okay, and this is like a persistent, not a burn though. Okay, so it's reusable.
Permanent. Yeah.
Yeah, permanent, persistent. Yeah, cool. That's really cool. So that's a simple way of getting shackle. You get a hit on them, and then when it's like, I mean, with a wound, this thing's taking 2 damage a turn if it's next to you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
One quick question I'm just going to ask right now. So if a shackled enemy dies, or you perform a shackle ability on a different enemy, you remove the token from the original enemy. Because it's mentioning different. I wonder if there's going to be a card later that's going to give you more shackle, like things to do. Because it just sounds like, I mean, even the one that says the one you just read at the start of your turn, if it's adjacent to you, but it's 1 damage, right, to 1 target. So maybe there's a way to get more out.
yeah, possibly. And then the bottom is create a 2 damage trap in adjacent enemy hex. Here he is.
He's back.
There we go. Well, this is like, couldn't have landed on a better player because Mark is just like, he even has a guide out there, the trap
Loves
guide,
a
right?
maze. He does.
He loves a
World-class
maze.
guide.
So yeah, cool. Look, interesting card because the top seems really good in that it's a way of getting shackle out. I'm sure there's going to be more later, but and pure damage, but the bottom kind of seems a bit iffy because placing traps, unless you really want them out and you want to use it to maze, it's only 2 damage. So yeah.
Don't forget, we are playing a character that can swing things and can push things and pull things and follow up. So including traps into that has just made this potentially spicier because he sets his own arm.
That is true, right? Like even with the bottom of that, you place a trap and then you do the top of drag through dirt, which was to swing them. You put the trap down, then you swing them in. You get to hit them with the trap. You get to attack them, and a whole bunch of blah blah blah. So yeah, you're right. Like with the swing ability, there is more of a case of being able to throw a trap down and then just get someone to go into it straight away. But yeah. Well, keen to see how much more trap stuff there is.
Our next card, we have Merciless Beatdown. Stop, he's already dead. I thought we already did this. Goes at a 26, so yeah, we're getting good again. Attack 3. These are all melee, by the way. I don't think I've seen a single range one. Add +2 attack for each enemy adjacent to the target. Wow.
Okay, it's a burn though.
Yeah, of course. Like 100%. But for each enemy adjacent to the target?
Yeah.
Like that could be a lot. Not to mention if you've shackled it and you're getting the +2 or the +3 from the first persistent. Like, pretty nuts. This is the bit where I go, oh, big numbers, and everyone tells me it's terrible. But that's okay.
No. For a burn, I mean, it seems, you're lining that up. You're going to get at least 5 to 7 damage on something, right?
Totally. And power pot. Oh. So the bottom is force 1 adjacent shackled enemy to perform an attack 3. Oh, targeting an enemy adjacent to it with you controlling the ability. Are you serious? It still gets fun toys?
I love that.
Every card is a fun toy. Wow. Then that'll be awesome. It's got I was gonna say he's doing it. There should be another one later, maybe, with the same kind of ideal, but force it to move, like make it move instead in a certain direction, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no.
Really like that.
What's interesting about the bottom here, right, is that you do get these situations where you have cool abilities on a bottom that are kind of an attack or an adjacent type ability. But the tricky with those is that you need to start your turn adjacent to something, unless you've got a top move, which is rare, right? So the cool thing about this, though, is that because we're dealing with shackled enemies, the idea is that you move up to it and shackle it, that it's going to be there next turn. Like it can't get away,
Ooh.
which is, again, it's this, it kind of synergizes with it to say like, no, I'm going to make it attack its mate next turn. And it can't really go anywhere unless someone else pushes it away. So it's almost, without having to put immobilize on a lot of your cards, it's a way of making sure the thing that you put there is going to be there.
Yeah.
So,
No, you're very right.
all right, we got next one is Rusty Spikes. Ooh, I like this.
Super
Okay,
chills at the moment.
goes at an 18. So I think this is the quickest card so far. So pretty good. The
Very
top
familiar number.
that's birds, right?
No.
That's 23. Damn it. Create a 3 damage poison trap in adjacent empty hex. Okay, so I asked the question if we're going to get more traps, and the question has been answered. So a 3 damage poison trap. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Reusable as well, not burn. So damage and poison's not bad for a thing. And then the bottom is a move to shackle one adjacent enemy. Okay. So we've got like a move and a shackle on stick. The other thing as well, which I know we haven't been paying attention to much with the unboxing, but there is a enhancement point next to the move 2.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I mean, this is the thing, when you're using the bottom to do a move 2, it's kind of always feels a bit bad.
Yeah.
But being able to buff that up to a move 3 or give it jump or something like that.
Boots. Yeah.
Yeah. This sounds like this is, again, one of the ways you're going to be able to do it. So, yeah, that seems takeable because I feel like the trap's going to be useful, but the move and shackle is almost always going to be useful.
I think the initiative in the bottom is what makes it. When I first read the top, when you were reading at the top of this card, and I was looking at it, I was like, "Oh, look, it's really cool." That's definitely like the crossway of, or the crossroads of picking a direction to go into, potentially via. I'm going to do lots of traps and do lots of force movement, and this is just pure speculation after 6 cards, but the bottom makes it no. Even if you're playing any other build, to be able to move and put a shackle on demand just like that easily, just makes it a almost must take.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
No, it's a really good point. It's an interesting design because you're right. Like
they do that to us, make us choose.
Make it. Well, I mean, the thing is, this is where this doesn't become a card that you're like, if you're going one build, take it, because shackle seems to be core. So you're going to want this, and then it almost brings the top into play as an option sometimes. So, and I like those cards. Here's something you're going to mostly use you'll use the bottom for this card 9 times out of 10. But you know what? There are times when the top is actually pretty cool, and then you get to it because it gives you it's like having more options or more utility. So.
It's that moment where he does it and we're like, whoa, where'd that poison trap come from?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Didn't know you could do that.
So,
slamming shove goes at a 25. It's a burn. It's an attack 3, push 2, then move 2 and attack 3. Okay, so it's an attack 3 with some force movement in there as well. And also for repositioning yourself, which is kind of cool, gets 2 XP. It's clean. If it's shackled, it's in a lot of trouble, especially with that first persistent we saw, chokehold. The bottom of it, though, is a move to heal 2 self. That is, like, unbelievably boring, and yet one of the staples for so many characters that actually have a move to heal 2. Like, so, I think so many characters have a heal 2 move 2, and it is just such a good card.
Yeah. I mean, again, the move 2 isn't exciting, but, being able to continue to chug along and keep up with everywhere, but get rid of a poison or just top yourself up a bit, again,
you'd be spamming that.
Yeah, balancing it with the top being a burn, like you are almost perfectly fine playing the bottom once per rest cycle, just for remove and heal. So,
and so far it's the only health thing related thing. There's no shield so far. There's no warding. There's no mitigation or anything like that.
Yeah,
so hey,
that's a good point. Actually, really good point. Like he's got a decent health, but he's also going to have monsters next to him all the time.
Yeah,
right. So
at least one, right?
Yeah. All right, next one, Spiked Knuckles.
This sounds good.
We've got an attack 2 with wound, and then add 1 +1 attack and gain an XP if the target is shackled. Okay, cool. So attack 3 and wound. And then the bottom, sorry, this goes at a 66, so the initiative is garbage. The bottom is a move 3, add Pierce 1 to all your attacks targeting shackled enemies this round.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a way of getting Pierce, and it's cool that it's got a move on it as well. But what jumps out at me at that is your comment before. I was like, I wonder if we're going to get a chance to shackle multiple enemies. Well, targeting shackled enemies. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe it's just a syntax or a language thing they have to do it, or maybe we're going to get that. Who knows? It's a mystery.
there has to be.
Has
Has
to
to
be.
be.
Has to be. Cool. All right, no worries. Seems all right.
It's okay. It's fine. The wound is great. I mean, it's good to have conditions. There's not many conditions that I've seen that this character is putting out, so to be able to put that out is fine. I think this is a card that he will consider taking or leaving every single time, depending on the monster types and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. In because we're talking about Gloomhaven monsters, right? Where the demons are probably the things that have the most shields. They're the ones that are trickier in that, I think, from
I can't
memory.
remember.
Because we don't have automatons and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, you're looking at that going like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. We've got some of the shieldy demons. Having Pierce is going to make a big difference. So,
Untouchable Keeper. This goes at 14. Blazing. Shield 1. Hey, it's the first shield. There we go. So he's actually fine now. It's all good. Shackled enemies treat you as if you have invisible this round. Oh, so he's not invisible, but they treat him. Oh, the shackled one does. So that mitigates what I mentioned earlier, is that he's always going to have something next to him. This card literally is like that one that's shackled next to him is going to be like, I don't know why I'm stuck here, but something's keeping me here, and I have no idea what it is. And it keeps punching me in the face.
interesting.
Yeah, and then the bottom of it is a heal 3 self with 1 XP. Wow.
So,
I was just gonna say, yeah, like that's obviously incredibly spammable and XP generation fantastic, and on at a 14 as well. So like all of those things say amazing, but is it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see what Mark gets out of it.
Whenever they dump a really low initiative on a card, like that's one of the lowest ones, it's usually most times a kind of ho-hum card that you can make really good, provided you know kind of how to do that. So that's where you're taking it for the initiative a lot of times, and that's where I'm looking at with this, except if you know you're going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think just as a side note, one thing I love about the design on the top of this card is that they are treating shackled enemies as if you're invisible means you can't abuse this. And it would have been really easy just to go, oh, it's shield 1 invisible, right? Which, I mean, it's kind of redundant because you're not going to get attacked so maybe you just make it invisible. But the idea is then you can go into the front line, hold something there, and then be invisible to everything else. But this is cool because it's just like, no, just that one thing you're keeping there, but ranged monsters are still going to hit you, which means then you can get a benefit from the shield. So there's almost a case of you can lock down one monster that potentially is going to hit really hard and make them just not attack, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And then still, though, you can tank for the other things coming at you. So it's again, it's a cool frontlining card.
Yeah.
More than just a move, gain 2 shield, and then just try to like AMD your way through it, right? Like, yeah.
Come on.
Next one is Wrapped in Metal.
This is the last level 1 card as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Before we get to the crazy ones. It goes in at 82, so that's actually good. We like late cards, you know? This is probably the latest card they've got by a fair margin.
Yeah, I think the 66 was the latest until now.
That's going to be interesting for initiative like weaving. Like, there's not a lot of opportunity of going late on this character so far.
No.
So, just stun. Why not? Right? Just on a card that not burn. Just like, hey, you don't have a turn.
Not just that, dude.
At range 2, and then pull 1 and shackle it. Okay, so you stun it, and then it doesn't get to have a turn either, and it gets to be next to you.
There's a part of me that just hates and loves the fact that stun is this easy. We saw on the flask it had all enemies within range 2 get stunned or something burn card. I can't remember. It was something ridiculous. And this one's just like on demand. Hey, stun it. Oh, you know the shtick about shackling stuff. We'll include that as well.
Yeah.
It's over there. We'll bring it to you. Like, wow. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's got the pull 1 too, right? So yeah. Okay. Cool. Move 3. Bottom of the card is move 3. And then pull 3, target 1 shackled enemy adjacent to the hex you occupied at the start of this action. Okay, so it's similar to that burn one we had where you jump really far, just like a mini version of it. So it's kind of move along and drag your dude along with you. So
you'll never use the bottom of that card.
I mean, like, it's tricky too when the top stuns something and shackles it, right? But I mean, in saying that, this is the flexibility of the bottom is to control the battlefield. So someone's going to get whacked, and you're also next to them. You move away and drag the thing away. So although, yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. It's Gloomhaven rules, right? Like stun is just something you have.
Stun is stun.
Yeah. So cool. I like that card. It seems very powerful.
Liking
Interestingly
the
enough, though,
kit.
there are no enhancements on the top, so you're not increasing the range of this. You're not increasing targets and all that kind of stuff. So it's I don't know if it's
Not
immune to being
increasing
abused.
targets.
I don't know because I can't range attacks. Can't you enhance to add +1 target?
I think it's if it's got plus target on it, so +2 targets, and you add a +1, it becomes target 3. I don't think you can
Okay.
just make anything a target 2.
Target 2. Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, well, yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm sure I'll be wrong, but it doesn't look like it's like abusable in some way other than just stunning something every cycle.
I'm just loving this. I can't wait to see what my stun looks like. Okay, X card number 1, ganging up goes at a 74. So yeah, here we go. Enter the late, kind of. Attack 2 puts a shackle. Force one adjacent shackled enemy to perform attack 2, targeting an enemy adjacent to it, with you controlling the ability. Okay, so it's very straightforward, especially if you have seen these style cards before. But it has to be at the shackled enemy, which you are already potentially doing with the very beginning of this card.
Yep.
Yeah. The bottom of it is one adjacent ally may perform attack 3, targeting a shackled enemy adjacent to you.
That's cool.
Actually, very cool. It's on the bottom.
Yeah, so granting an attack, yeah, from the bottom.
So you won't give up your attack either, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's interesting because I know some of those cards do grant allies attacks or things. If they're at the top, people always feel bad about it. Like, but I'm not attacking. I don't want to help someone else.
100%.
What's interesting is that there is the merciless beatdown, which we read earlier, where the bottom of that one is force one adjacent shackled enemy to perform attack 3, targeting an enemy adjacent to it. So you can combo those two, and that goes at a 26. So you can do that. Do the top of ganging up, so you do an attack, shackle them, make them punch their mate, and then you do the bottom of merciless beatdown, and then make that guy punch his mate again.
Love it. And hopefully the mate has like a real fat retaliate.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, why are you punching me? Stop punching yourself. So
yeah, not bad, not bad.
I would put money on if Mark takes this that we never see the bottom
of ganging up.
Yeah,
probably not.
That's fine. Way too supportive, way too coordination and teamwork
way too
for our
friendly.
group. Yeah. All right. Roundhouse swing. Okay. Loot 1. So this goes at a 79. So again, we've got some late initiatives, which is good. Loot 1, you may forego the loot ability to perform shackle and swing 3 at range 3. Loot each hex the target enters. What? What? So
yeah, okay.
Okay, so
apparently you can swing from range.
Wow, he's got a big chain whip thing, so I guess
yes, so. I'm assuming it increases the circumference. So it's basically they can't go further away from you or closer to you. They just keep going around.
Yep. Okay. So they still just swing around in different hexes, but they oh wow, insane! And then loot each hex.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny. I mean, because we saw with the potion or the whatever it's called, we had that range attack that if you kill it, you get to take the coin. And this seems like another way of looting, right? But you're also
this is the card that looked at the other card and was like, watch this.
Yeah.
So bloody hell.
And then the bottom is move 3, add +2 swing to your next swing ability this round, then discard this card.
So we're gonna start. Already, we know now there's a swing build. It has to be.
There is? Is there? I mean, the only swing card we've seen was the drag through dirt, which was swing 3. I mean, why do you need to swing them 5? Like, isn't that just putting? Because you get to pick the direction, yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, we'll just go the other way. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure that there's a reason for this to exist. But we'll wait and see. This definitely feels like an X card, right? Like 2 abilities on this that are very situational and also very niche.
Yeah, well, the bottom adding +2 means the top card, well, you're not going to use them in tandem, but I'm like, there may be other cards that you benefit for how many hexes you can swing them.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. There could be a card later. It's like for each hex that you swing them, they take more damage or you add to your attack or something like that. So yeah.
Or they can collide, because I don't think you can collide with swing. Like when it stops, if there's if it's an ally to the enemy, I think you can go through it like most force movement. But if it's an ally or a rock or something like that, it stops. Anyway, I guess we'll see that one day. The last card is Vigorous Sway. Ooh. Shackle and swing 3 at range 2. If you cannot swing the target into a hex because of an obstacle or wall, end the movement. The target suffers 2 damage and you gain 1. Interesting.
I was literally just when you were saying if they go into an obstacle, right, that they don't go any further. I was like, oh, I wonder if they built a class around swinging things into obstacles, and then you just read out the ability.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, looks like there is a swing build, a little bit. That's cool. It goes at a 52, which is pretty shit, but. Yeah, and it shackles them at the beginning as well. In fact, I'm almost certain every card that we've read so far shackles something, except for Slamming Shove. The bottom of the card does a move 3, shackle 1 adjacent enemy, create a 3 damage stun trap in an adjacent empty hex, and then get 2 XP. It is a burn.
Okay. So we're not spamming that, but a stun trap seems pretty spicy.
Oh, you wouldn't need to. You're too busy swinging people with the top. Like, that bottom doesn't need to come out until you need the 2 XP.
Yeah. The top seems interesting. The only downside I see from it is that you're swinging them around and they suffer 2 damage, but you can't scale that. So it's like it's stuck at 2, which is cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that's a cool thing, and I love the idea, and I hope we see more of this swinging him around to hit things or benefits for swinging him around. But I'd love that to see, like, they take 1 damage. If they stop, they take 1 damage per hex that they get swung, so that at least you can kind of try to push it up a little bit.
It's probably coming.
Yeah, that's true. What am I? Yeah, I'm making things up. People are like, oh, just read the next card, you dickhead. Yeah, but no, that seems cool. That's such a cool thing, right? Like,
so I'm about to go into the character details just so we can look at the perk sheet. I'm assuming we're gonna get perks for swing and force movement and shackle, which allows him to maybe move the shackle target.
You'd think that, right? Like, yeah, if I'm thinking AMD abilities, it's like it's shackling something. It's probably dealing extra damage if they're shackled, right? Like +1 damage if they're shackled. Maybe a little bit of heal. Like then this seems like it needs a little bit of rolling heal. Like heal self, roll into another card.
Well, Phil had some heals.
He did.
On the flask.
But, yeah. So, all right, let's have a look.
All right, I'm gonna scroll down. All right, we got our perk list. That's right. There's no masteries to look at, which is kind of sad. Off the top, replace -1s with +1s and shackle. Yep, there's that. Replace -1 with +0 +2 if the target is shackled. Okay.
There we go. Extra.
Really nice. So already removing 2 -1s and +2. Replace 2 +0s with a rolling shield 1 self card. I can foresee that one coming out a lot. We got 2 retaliate 1 self cards. That's cool. Have we seen many retaliate AMD cards?
Not that I can think of.
I can't think of any.
No. Retaliate rolling is weird, right? It's same with shield. Shield rolling is also weird because it's super situational. Like you're hitting and then it's usually useful, but like sometimes it can just be, I mean, you could be not high enough initiative to be the one being hit, or I don't know, it dies or something like that. So sometimes they can be a bit strange, but retaliate even more niche than the shield.
I agree with you. It's just the majority of the cards we've just read so far are quite low in initiative. You generally are always going to go fairly early. So I'm wondering whether or not that's hinting into the fact that you're going to go early a lot. So here's a bunch of shield and retaliates later on down the line, or swings or something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
3 rolling swings. Oh my god, how many times? What if you draw all 3?
I was gonna say that. So we've got we saw that card that was increase your swing by 2. And we've also seen that card that is did multiple attacks. So you could draw 1, swing it 5, and then draw another one, swing it back 5. Not that does anything at all for you because you're just swinging around in circles, but it's funny.
Oh, it's do that with because the other card, the loot one, was it an attack? I'm just gonna have a quick look.
No, it wasn't an attack. Card. It was just swing them around and loot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. +3. Yeah. Okay. Each time the target. Oh, no. Actually, no, it's not. I was gonna say if it had a attack tied to it of the AMD and you were getting one loot token for each one it goes through, and you pull all three of the rolling swing modifiers, you might pick up about 10 loot. Because the way we play the game, we leave a lot of loot tokens on the table to like bait the monsters into looting them.
What I think is awesome about that rolling modifier card is that the rolling modifier AMD push and pulls, I mean mostly pushes, but like are always really like, yeah, sure, whatever. Do I want
They
to?
may
Do I
not
not want
work,
to?
right?
Swing is one of these ones because it's like you're in melee, and again, this is controlling the battlefield around you because they can swing through enemies, right? And 3 hexes is most of the way around, right? Like that's a good. This is a really cool reposition. So again, we're talking about situations where you can actually change the orientation of the battle and put monsters in like worse positions for their attacks or better positions for your allies, right? So I can see coming up and being like Mark being like, hey guys, do we want this thing anywhere else? Because it's not push it further away. Because usually that's what people are, no, I want that to be there because I want to hit it. But this is like hey, do you want me to swing it around? Right? And there's also cases like that where we can plan around it going like, hey, can you swing it over here so I don't have to play a bottom and I can do like two attacks? Like I can see this being really cool because it's a very fun battle manipulation type kind of ability.
Yeah. It's just weird to see this giant Inox running around. Just this one? No, not that one. Not over. Okay, this one.
Yep.
Replace a +1 with a +2 wound. Nice. +1 disarm. That's nice. If the target is shackled. Ooh, a little bit of a condition there. +1 create a 2 damage trap and an empty hex within range 2. So yeah, he's got ways of getting some more traps out, like 1 through the AMD. Add 2 rolling heal oneself. They're useful. +2 and a shackle card and ignore item effects and remove 1 +0.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I mean, it's as fun as you can be with just random AMD things. I think most of that seems really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones you probably don't really care about early on are potentially the disarm. Although I mean, it's only 1, but that's again without that invisible card, you are going to get hit a lot by the things next to you. So that +1 and disarm, if they're shackled, is maybe that's actually really key to your shackle build. If you can, if as much as AMD abilities can be key to a build.
Yeah. No, I agree. If it's all about lockdown, anything to help keep you upright, I think it's going to be like huge.
So
I'm unbelievably impressed with this character. I think it is unbelievably cool. I think it's thematically amazing. I love the chain and the actual little scythe thing at the end of it. I love that it's an Inox. I love the mini. I love the way it looks. And yeah, I cannot wait to see more of these.
I am still blown away. That's
Yeah.
2 classes into the Crimson Scales, and I'm blown away by the design. Like they just seem like most of the cards seem fun, do cool things, have fun. None of them seem overly busted, although I'm probably going to be disproved with that. People say, oh no, this card and this card, you basically win the game. But none of it is from a power level, I think this is the best class. It's more like each turn, you're going to have interesting decisions to make. That's I think really, for me, it's really important. So yeah.
Yeah. So community wise, did you enjoy your time with the chain guard or hat hole or chained helm? And yeah, just basically just give us an idea of, if this was your main, did you enjoy it, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to go into it or anything like that. But yeah, I'd love to sort of get some chain guard love out there, chain guard mains and all of that good stuff. Any final comments on this chain guard unboxing?
No, not really. I think we've nailed picking a class for Mark without knowing anything about the characters.
I think that was it feels like it was obvious, but at the same time, it completely could have been something completely different. So
it could have been, yeah. So yeah, very good.
Nice.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to. So we've got washing machine and Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they're good.
I'm nervous, dude. I'm nervous. I'm nervous that we've just unlocked 2 of the more exciting ones, and they're like, oh crap. They started off with these 2. Wait till they get to washing machine.
I know. Me too, because like I don't know if they're going to put 4 awesome characters all in the one starter kit, right? Like you'd have to balance it out, unless all
They're
the
all
characters
awesome.
are awesome, right? But surely they haven't done that. Surely
Can
they
it be
haven't been able to
done?
pull that off.
Well, for all we know, we just literally just spent, I don't know, the last 40 minutes talking about the biggest bin in the Haven series.
What you reckon this could? If this is the worst character in all of Crimson
We don't know.
Scales, no,
We
I
don't
get what
know.
you're saying though. Like, if
Everyone
this
else
is
might
the
be like,
worst,
this could be
everything
this
is
the bin.
People are like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Worst class, like ever? Yeah.
Bunch of noobs excited. Well, anyway, we will catch you on the flip side, and we will do our next unboxing probably next week, and we'll start scraping the pieces together for our initial party. Thanks for joining me, Kaz. We will see you next time.
See you later.